Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture, and coming up today I've got stories on Tony Khan's reaction to those new Raw camera angles. I've got the latest on that weird AJ Styles versus The Undertaker stipulation, and on top of that I'm going to tell you all about the special treatment that John Cena versus The Fiend is getting at WrestleMania.
Also coming up today, the WWE Network is set to be free. We're going to give an update on the WrestleMania 36 card. AEW looks set to tape a whole host of episodes of Dynamite this week, and Lio Rush is doing something nice for everyone. This is the news.
But we are going to kick things off by talking about The Undertaker. Now, there's a lot of speculation going around at the moment with regards to this man and his character. It's spawned mostly from AJ Styles' verbiage in their ongoing feud. He's talking a lot about Michelle McCool taking his soul and all kinds of stuff. There's been talk of maybe reverting to the American Badass. That would be certainly an interesting move at this stage in Mark Calloway's career. But we've got a new report from Tom Colicue stating that, well, you know, not necessarily going back to the American Badass, there may be a change on the way for the WWE veteran. He was speaking on the Sportskeeda Wrestling podcast and said that, while it doesn't necessarily mean going back to an old gimmick, it could mean that the dead man has simply run its course, so he now has to evolve and make something different. He goes on to say, it has been mentioned to me that we are going to see something different, something new, and we are not going to see a return to an old form of The Undertaker. So it'll be an interesting thing for The Undertaker to reinvent himself at this career. You can't imagine he's got a whole lot of WrestleMania matches left on the clock, but I mean, something fresh, something exciting, something interesting. It'd be a risk. Maybe at this stage there are some fans who just want to see the dead man in his classic form. But I'm not really sure what to make of this, Adam. What do you think?
We're getting back a Taker, aren't we? No, I don't know what's going to happen. It's intriguing to be taking something on, as you say, at such a late stage in his career. I, for one, when we got to see The Undertaker on the Raw after WrestleMania, just wanted to see The Undertaker, the classic character. But, you know, we all know that his style cannot be the same as it once was, and perhaps this is the only way that we can maybe sort of salvage a decent final few matches for The Undertaker.
Yeah, it's a strange situation to really break down. Like, for the first time in a long time, I have no idea really what to expect from The Undertaker. We'll talk maybe a little bit more about this when we mention the stipulation, but well, I mean, what's he genuinely capable of now? Like, we saw the chokeslam in Saudi Arabia, wasn't his best. Things may just be creeping up with the fella, but that being said, he was incredible in the Graveyard Dogs tag match last year, so whatever happens, something new, something fresh, something different. I just hope the work is good.
Exactly. We'll get into what the bloody hell a boneyard match is in due course. But looking ahead to WrestleMania 36 and just generally looking ahead to escaping from all this nonsense that we've got going on in the world right now, WWE have announced that the WWE Network is free for everyone for a limited time, and I suppose for a limited section of the network. They announced this yesterday with a official press release reading, beginning today, WWE is pleased to unlock a vast portion of the WWE Network library and extend free access to thousands of hours of extraordinary on-demand content, including every WrestleMania in history, countless pay-per-view spectaculars like the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, NXT takeovers, original documentaries, and more for a limited time. So there's stuff like WWE 24, Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions, the WWE Ruthless Aggression documentary we were talking about a while back, the Monday Night War series, and a few recent episodes of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown as well. I, for one, think this is a really good idea. I'm slightly pissed off that I'm still paying for the WWE Network as it stands, but it's fascinating because they're basically guaranteeing they make zero money from this year's WrestleMania. But I saw Michael Hamflett talking about this recently and saying this might actually be a genius way, whilst everyone's stuck inside and, you know, wanting something to watch, of bringing back those lapsed fans and certainly at least getting their email addresses. So by the time that, I don't know, let's say hopefully SummerSlam rolls around, you can try and encourage people to get back in to wrestling.
Yeah, imagine if this whole thing was just a massive mailing list grift. That would be quite impressive. It's certainly plausible, though. I think, like, you know, aside from the business implications of giving Mania away for free and all this stuff, it's kind of like just a really nice thing, isn't it, man? Like, so many people will be stuck indoors with not a whole lot going on. Maybe people don't have cable. Maybe they can't, they don't necessarily want to spend money on the network to get a pay-per-view or access old archives and stuff. You know, people are struggling for employment. People are having hours cut. It's a really tough time for a lot of people all around the world. So for me, like, hats off to WWE. I think this is just a really nice thing to do. And it's great that so many more people will be able to just watch 2 days of WrestleMania for free.
Exactly. Sometimes it's just nice to be nice. Although considering it's WWE, there's something behind this.
Yeah, what are they up to, cheeky little rascals? Speaking of cheeky little rascals, how about your man, Tony Khan, the Sugar Man? Sweet Tony K sprinkling that sweet sugar all over American wrestling. Well, if you watched last night's Raw, you'd have seen that they altered the hard cam. They did what AEW did on Dynamite and had it facing the stage and the screen and all the stuff around that, rather than just facing empty rows of seats. It looked a lot better, and I'm not going to criticize them for that. It looked great. It was a good move. But of course, Tony Khan, being the rascal that he is, had to react to this. So when Brian Alvarez tweeted out saying they moved the hard cam, Tony chimed in with a little gif of Willem Dafoe in Spider-Man 2002 saying, you know, I'm something of a scientist myself. So, I mean, it's just a little bit of playful fun. A lot of people are going to get annoyed by this, going, AEW, WWE. It's just Tony having a bit of fun, man. Technically, AEW did do it first, but I mean, it was the right move from WWE, so let's not criticize them for copying or whatever.
Exactly. It's just a bit of light-hearted fun. Having said that, we all need a bit of escapism, something to look forward to alongside WrestleMania. So I'm predicting Tony Khan, Vince McMahon for a pay-per-view in the near future where we can all actually attend. I'd pay to see it.
Battle of the Billionaires 2.0. Oh. I'm with it. I'm with it, baby. Just
Yes.
keep that president guy away.
Yes, please. But from AEW copying WWE, from WWE copying AEW to the other way around, AEW copying WWE, they are set, just like WWE, to be taping a load of TV episodes this week, one censors, with a view, as with WWE, to making sure that they don't run out of TV episodes if a major lockdown continues. They've made an announcement about what's going on with Blood and Guts, of course, recently, and Dave Meltzer, his daily update on Figure 4 Online, says that AEW will be doing a lot of taping on Wednesday, so presumably just getting a whole host of shows in the vault, just in case they are literally shut down from doing any form of wrestling going forward.
Yeah, this is smart. This is a smart move. I'm surprised it's something that wasn't considered last week, but maybe they have limited access to Daly's Place, the building in Jacksonville. I'm not terribly sure on that, but again, it's just a smart move from wrestling companies that are adapting. WWE are going to tape all the way through to the Raw after Mania. AEW are going to get a bunch of Dynamites and Darks and stuff in the can. They're going to have content that they can keep churning out and so forth. I think they announced last night that for the foreseeable future, it will be in a closed building in Jacksonville. Again, makes sense. This week's Dynamite looks pretty good as well. It looks like a fun show. There's Cody versus Jimmy Havoc. There's Kenny Omega versus Sammy Guevara. There's also, we were advertised a Luchasaurus versus Wardlow Lumberjack match. That's going to be tough because they can't have that amount of people around ringside now. There's limitations and so forth. That'll probably need to be adapted. But I'm looking forward to Dynamite. Last week's was good and it makes so much sense to just tape everything. You have no idea when it's going to get shut down, man. So get as much done as possible.
Exactly. Right, should we do a bit of a speed round?
Let's speed round the hell out of this because I don't know what a boneyard match is. That's the stipulation for AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. AJ announced it on last night's Raw. He said that he wanted to face The Undertaker in his match, The Undertaker's match, which I thought was a buried alive match, but never mind. It's going to be a boneyard match. That's literally all we know about it. AJ spoke about wanting to take Undertaker's soul, but Michelle McCool had already done that. He mocked the Tiger video. It was a fun little promo, but comment section, what the hell do you think a boneyard match is? Let us know down below. Is it going to be some Lion King elephant graveyard stuff? Is it going to be a buried alive match? Let us know, man, because I can't figure out with this big noggin of mine.
Absolute madness. I openly laughed when he said that last night. To be honest, I don't think The Undertaker is ready, but I know who is. Bonesaw is ready!
Get in, baby.
Let's update you as well on the WrestleMania 36 card, though. Not only do we have that mad boneyard match, we also got confirmation of the last man standing match between Edge and Randy Orton in a fantastic promo from Randy Orton to end Monday Night Raw last night. Also, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Why? Well, I don't know. And a tag team match pitting the new Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, against a team I don't think we've ever seen before certainly not contending for a tag team title. Andrade, Angel Garza, they're going to be taking on the Street Profits after winning their match on Raw last night. It was announced before they won their match, and then they won their match beating Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Mental.
What a strange turn of events. Where did Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley come from? I just hope it's a good match, man. I just hope it's a good match. Speaking of matches that might be good, John Cena versus The Fiend. So we've got a new report here from Gorilla Position talking a little bit about this match, and they say that this match is going to, and I quote, get a full-blown movie treatment with a unique look and feel. It'll be shot in a warehouse, and it is being described as something similar to Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt in that House of Horror thing that they did in 2017 with a washing machine or whatever it was, and all the cultists in the dark rooms and driving away. That thing was an absolute mess, but it was kind of almost so bad it was good. So here's hoping that this one is either a smash hit success or so crap we can just laugh at it.
I dread to think about the guy who's going to be behind directing all that and then presenting that to Vince McMahon, because if you listen to Matt Hardy on Talk Is Jericho recently, he did all the Ultimate Deletion, he got a standing ovation in the production meeting, and then Vince just sat there and went, I don't get it, pal.
Yeah, what's all this wacky stuff?
So I dread to think, like you say, it's going to be weird fascination as to what on earth they're going to do in this match. Final news story of the day surrounds Lio Rush, who's just decided to do something nice for independent wrestlers. Braun Strowman, take note. He took to YouTube yesterday to send a message to his fans and announce a new campaign he's launching to give back to the independent pro wrestling scene. He's going to be doing something special for the independent wrestling community during WrestleMania 36 week. Basically, a load of Instagram streams to get people's minds off the craziness, as he has been doing recently, and he's going to be bringing special guests to his stream that week. Independent pro wrestlers, referees, ring announcers, anyone else involved with the indies. At the end of the live streams, he's going to link to Cash App, PayPal, merchandise page of that indie talent. He's going to be hosting 3 streams per day from March 30th until April 6th. So it's just nice that he's doing something for wrestlers right now who really could do, or any independent wrestling personnel who really could do with some help.
Yeah, Lio Rush is doing a really good thing here. Man clearly hasn't forgotten where he came from. He himself was a product of the indie scene, of course. This is just really nice to see. We've said this several times before recently. Indie wrestlers and smaller groups are the ones who are going to really be struggling the most through all of this. Really good to see someone in Lio Rush's position, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, using his platform to raise awareness and hopefully raise a bit of cash for these people during what's going to be a rough time for them professionally and personally.
Absolutely great stuff. Let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE on Twitter. Seen a lot of people calling us heroes on Twitter. Please don't call us heroes. Daniel Seven Nans says, if you had to book a supercard with every wrestler from any time available, what is your main event? Mine is Omega versus Brett.
Oh my goodness, Omega versus Brett would be so tremendous. Brett versus Bryan, Brett versus... You could throw Brett in. Yeah, I mean, he made Tom McGee look good, for God's sake. Bryan versus Flair, I think, would be incredible. The Young Bucks versus the Rock and Roll Express. Brock Lesnar versus Stan Hansen, something like that. Brock Lesnar versus Ricky Steamboat. That's my main event. How good would that be? God.
I went in a different direction here. I wanted to see Cena versus Hogan, I thought of. But then also Marco Stunt versus New Jack. Just want to see it. Just want to see what he'd do. Just a thought.
On today's news video, Adam wishes death upon a man.
I feel sorry because I love Marco Stunt. I've met him. He's such a lovely guy. But every time we do this, I just go, have him been murdered? Next question today comes from Eric Vasquez, who says, say the world gets back into motion before SummerSlam. We're all hoping for that. Just stay indoors and we can get through this together. Anyway, Eric says, say that happens and before SummerSlam rolls around, Will everyone getting back out make SummerSlam larger than ever, or will WWE take a hard hit in its fan base, whether it's financials, AEW's rise, or WWE's own faults?
So I think there's going to be a pretty heavy hit in financials throughout this period. As far as, attendances and goes, they're obviously not making a whole lot of money off that at the moment, and well, none, obviously. But when it comes back, I'd like to think that there will indeed be a surge of interest. I'd like to think that people will be re-energized and ready to go and fired up. The wrestlers themselves especially, they should be really just buzzing to get going before a red hot crowd. So I think it's going to be like a big U and it's going to zip right up. I'm being the optimist here, man. I'm hoping for a big surge when people realize what they've been missing out on and we come back and everything's normal again.
Look, both WWE and AEW financially are probably going to be fine for different reasons. I hope, as you say, that this isolation will lead to casual wrestling fans getting back into it because they've got now to do, so they're going to go back and watch WrestleMania X7 or something like that. But the thing I'm most looking forward to is the pops. The pops when everyone gets back into arena is going to be... Mwah! I'm so excited. Final question today comes from Dave Savage, who's done a little bit of work. I really like this. He says, do you think it's time for Randy Orton to evolve yet again by adding a submission finisher, something that goes with his sadistic nature? And he sent us this photo. He says, I call this the Constrictor, a ground Cobra clutch with arm trap and Randy hissy noises. I thought this was spectacular, Andy.
That's absolutely beautiful. Can you imagine Randy just doing snake noises into a guy's ear while he's tapping them out? It would be cool to see him add something like this. I think it would, just to stretch his wings in the ring a little bit, adapt this game, make it a little bit more varied. But I suspect that Randy Orton will be quite content with 10 minutes of chin locks heading to the RKO pop. I'm being facetious a little bit there. I think the Edge match is going to rule. I think it's going to be tremendous. But yeah, no, I'd love to see Randy implement a submission or two, and I think your idea is a very good one.
Good stuff. Right, let's move on to today's and finally, and a little bit of a niche one here, but I felt it had to be mentioned. Chris Lewis yesterday tweeted a video. This mainly applies to British fans, but American fans can understand it. A video saying disgusting scenes in Asda today, where it should have been a time for the elderly and NHS staff. Please retweet to name a shame. It was actually, of course, a clip of Booker T and Stone Cold in their epic brawl through the supermarket. People all enjoyed it. People had a bit of a laugh, except for a former British politician called Edwina Currie. She was relatively high up in the government and has a fairly big sway when it comes, or used to at least, when it comes to governing the country, who fell for it hook, line and sinker, replying, "You sure this isn't staged? Nobody else around, no security staff, and whoever's filming has managed to get all the angles." This is the crossover I never thought I needed, Andy.
Yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. One of the replies to this was really great as well. There was a shot of Steve Austin chugging the milk, and someone's atted Edwina Currie and said, "Hey man, it gets even worse because after the brawl, look at this guy, the same guy behind it was spoiling all this milk that could have been used for pensioners and people in need and stuff." Imagine falling for this. I mean, to be fair, right, if you're not necessarily a wrestling viewer, you don't really think that wrestlers are going to be fighting in a supermarket, but still, come on.
Come on, Edwina.
Oh,
let us know if you can get any more politicians tricked into believing wrestling's real, though. I'd love that. Let us know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Myself and the Dudley Boys will be reviewing Monday Night Raw a little bit later on today. Plus, let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there. Follow all three of us. You can follow Andy Murray at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for House of Content. And if you're wondering, comment section, why there's nothing on the walls, it's because I just moved here, man. Give me a chance.
You can follow me at Adam Wilburn. You can follow our wonderful editor at Ben Roy Turner, who's putting all of this together. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE, as I said. But for now, don't call us heroes. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.